1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news, edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. The Umaoya project will add 120 megawatts of electricity to the national grid by the 15th of February. The first phase of the Fishermen's Health Promotion Programme commenced at the Vellamankaraya Fisheries Port in Vennapur. 4 billion rupees will be allocated for maize cultivation in the Yalla season this year. The security officer of the late State Minister Sanat Nishanta was posthumously promoted to the rank of police sergeant. A total of 818 more suspects were arrested within the last 24 hours under the anti-drug operation Yuktya. A special traffic plan will be implemented in Colombo in view of the Independence Day ceremony. In foreign news, the US approves F-16 fighter jet sale to Turkey. In sports news, the Sri Lankan under-19 team will play their last league game against Australia tomorrow in South Africa. State Minister for Irrigation Shashendra Rajapaksa says that the Umaoya project is expected to add 120 megawatts of electricity to the national grid by February 15th. This marks a significant step towards improving Sri Lanka's energy security. He revealed these facts at a press briefing held at the Presidential Media Centre yesterday. The State Minister also revealed plans to utilise 31 identified reservoirs for floating solar power plants with the potential to generate an additional 3,077 megawatts of electricity. This innovative approach leverages existing infrastructure and resources to address the country's growing energy needs. He emphasized the Ministry of Irrigation's commitment to enhancing food security, highlighting its role as a key contributor to national food production. Substantial budget allocations of 23,413 million rupees for the ministry, with 6,913 million rupees dedicated to reservoir maintenance and 16,500 million earmarked for large-scale irrigation projects have taken place. The Minister of State for Fisheries P.L. Nishanta De Silva announces the introduction of a new initiative called Dhivara Suva Savia, aimed at enhancing the well-being of fishermen in the country. The first phase of the programme commenced yesterday at the Vellamankaraya Fisheries Port in Vennapur. State Minister P.L. Nishanta further said that addressing the challenges faced by fishermen falling ill during sea expeditions has emerged as a major issue. Providing timely first aid to ailing fishermen at sea has proven problematic in the past, sometimes necessitating assistance from foreign countries near the working area. A crucial component of the program involves providing first aid training and certification for all fishermen. Given the potential for illnesses at sea, it is imperative for fellow fishermen to administer emergency first aid. Consequently, the training aims to ensure that at least one individual on each vessel is a certified first aid trainee. The Sri Lanka Navy's Medical Corps conducts this training. Upon the Ministry of Health's recommendation, every vessel will be equipped with a first aid kit containing essential medicines and emergency equipment. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Small-Scale Agri-Entrepreneurship Participation Programme has taken steps to allocate an amount of 4 billion rupees for maize cultivation in the 2024 Yalla season. The project spent 10 billion rupees to cultivate 40,000 acres of maize in the 2023 Maha season. Accordingly, steps were taken to provide all the necessary financial allocations for maize cultivation, maize seeds, fertilizers and land preparation costs to the farmers on a non-recovery basis. Accordingly, steps have been taken to provide these facilities to the farmers of the Anuradhapura, Hambantota, Badulla, Ampara and Mondragara districts for growing maize. 5,000 acres of maize was cultivated in the Hambantota district during the last Maha season on the basis of concessions provided by the Small-Scale Agri-Entrepreneurship Programme. Police Constable J.A.A. Jayakodi, who was a security officer of late State Minister Sanat Nishanta, who died in an accident on the Katunayaka Expressway, was posthumously promoted to the rank of police sergeant. The IGP has taken this decision with effect from the 25th of January. The police has provided a cash donation of 1.5 billion rupees to the bereaved family of the police officer. The money was handed over to the family members by the Acting Inspector General of Police, Deshabandhu Tennakone. The constable attached to the Ministerial Security Division and State Minister Sanat Nishanta died in the accident early morning on Wednesday. Meanwhile, the driver of the late State Minister Sanat Nishanta, injured in the fatal crash, has been remanded and is in custody until the 5th of February by the Valisara Magistrates Court. The driver, Prabhataranga, has reportedly given a statement to the police describing overtaking a car from the left and hitting a container truck while rushing to Colombo. Meanwhile, the remains of the late State Minister Sanat Nishanta are now lying at his private residence in Arachikattuva. The final rites will be performed tomorrow. A total of 818 more suspects have been arrested by the security forces personnel within a 24-hour period ending at 12:30 today as part of the ongoing countrywide anti-drug operation Yukthia by 12:30 a.m. today. The police have secured detention orders on one arrestee for onward investigations and sent the 8 to rehabilitation centres. The Ministry of Public Security said the narcotics impounded during this 24-hour window include 159 grams of heroin, 112 grams of ice or crystal meth, and 329 narcotic pills.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
A special traffic plan will be implemented in a section of the Gaul Road in view of the upcoming Independence Day ceremony. Accordingly, the stretch of Gaul Road from Kollupitil Junction, Gaul Face, and from the Ceramic Junction, Gaul Face will temporarily remain off limits for traffic until the 4th of February. The road closure is effective from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. from the 29th of January to the 2nd of February, and again from 2 p.m. on the 3rd of February 2023 until the conclusion of the Independence Day ceremony on the 4th of February, the police say.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
People in the upcountry estates are living in constant fear of any possible danger to their lives from leopards frequenting estates. They point out that leopards hiding under the tea bushes posed a serious danger to the estate workers. They point out that in the latest incident, a tea plucker had been attacked by a leopard feeding on the carcass of a dog under a tea bush. A similar incident was reported in the Birdwell estate in Bogavantalava recently. Trade union representatives said the wildlife authorities should have worked out an effective mechanism to protect the people from the threat of ill country leopards and also to protect them from being slain by the villagers by laying traps.
Coming up, World News.
In world news headlines, the US approves F-16 fighter jet sale to Turkey. Oil tanker on fire after Houthi missile attack. Growing skincare used by children is dangerous, say dermatologists. The US government has approved the $23 billion sale of 40 new F-16 fighter jets to Turkey, a move that has been long delayed after Ankara ratified Sweden's accession to NATO. The deal includes modernization kits for 79 existing Turkish F-16s. The US State Department told the Congress it had also approved the sale of 40 F-35 fighters to Greece, costing $8.6 billion. Turkey ratified Sweden's NATO accession after more than a year of delay that caused tension in the alliance. An oil tanker is on fire in the Gulf of Aden, its operator says, after Houthis said they hit it with a missile. The movement said it had targeted the Martin Luanda on Friday evening. Operator Trafigura told the BBC the strike caused a fire in one of the ship's cargo tanks and firefighting equipment was being used to contain it. US officials told the media that the tanker was hit by an anti-ship ballistic missile and a naval ship was responding to its distress signal. The growing trend of children as young as 8 using skincare products could leave them with irreversible skin problems, the British Association for Dermatologists has warned. Some children are asking their parents for luxury items after seeing them being used by their favorite influencers on platforms such as YouTube and TikTok. But many of these contain potentially harmful active ingredients intended for adults only, such as exfoliating acids. They can provoke allergies or eczema. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. The US approves F-16 fighter jet sale to Turkey. An oil tank on fire after Houthi missile attack. Growing skincare used by children is dangerous, say dermatologists.
Development news.
Plans are afoot to execute the destruction of drugs seized by the security forces by the end of March, the Commander of the Navy Vice Admiral Priyantha Pereira has emphasized. The Navy Chief further said that a building with all facilities required for drug destruction is under construction in the Vanathavilluva area at present.
Moving on with sports news.
The Sri Lanka Under-19 team led by Sine Jayawardene will play their last league game against Australian side tomorrow at Bloemfontein, South Africa. Sri Lanka registered their second consecutive win in the ICC Men's Under-19 World Cup 2024 as they beat Namibia by 77 runs last Wednesday at Kimberley. Sri Lanka's team scored 24 against Zimbabwe and they were bundled out 133 in 37.5 overs in the last game against Namibia. This match is vital for both Sri Lanka and Australia to come on top of the group before their next round.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB I Am, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Research Intelligence Unit 2023 says, according to the monthly real estate market surveillance update, Colombo 5 has the highest growth rate of average land price per perch within the Colombo City land market. It has increased nearly by 3% during the time period from December 2022 to December 2023.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB I am, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news, the NDB Bank and the Colombo Stock Exchange have entered into a memorandum of understanding MOU to pave the way for foreign investors to seamlessly invest in the Colombo Stock Exchange through inward investment accounts IIA accessible via the CSA mobile application. Under this collaboration, NDB Bank has signed the Custody and Trustee Services Department as a central coordinating entity, facilitating a smooth linkage between the two organizations and ensuring uninterrupted account services and ongoing assistance. The key objective of this strategic alliance is to enhance the investment platform for foreign investors interested in opening central depository systems.
Weather report.
The rainy weather conditions can be expected over the island from today. Several spells of showers in the northern, north central, east and Nuwara provinces. There's a possibility of ground frost at some places in the Nuwara area district during the early hours of the morning. Thunder showers may get a few places in central Sabaragaon and western province at Gala and Mathura districts after 2 p.m. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central Sabaragaon, western and Nuwara provinces and the Gala and Mathura districts during the morning. That was over the report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The Umaoya project will add 120 megawatts of electricity to the national grid by the 15th of February. The first phase of the Fishermen Health Promotion Program commenced at the Vellamankare Fisheries Port in Vennapur. 4 billion rupees will be allocated for maize cultivation in the Yalla season this year. The security officer of late State Minister Sanath Nishanta was posthumously promoted to the rank of police sergeant. A total of 818 more suspects were arrested within the last 24 hours under the anti-drug operation Yuktiya. A special traffic plan will be implemented in Colombo in view of the Independence Day ceremony. In foreign news, the US approves F-16 fighter jet sales to Turkey. In sports news, Sri Lanka _19 team will play their last league game against Australia tomorrow in South Africa. That concludes this news broadcast, and now it's back to your host as always on a Saturday afternoon, Asanka Veera Singh on the other side to keep in great company and all smiles and positivity as always. Over to you, Asanka.